Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about pansies, both the wild and the cultivated kind, and what you can do with them. Now I'm going to be dehydrating a bunch today, and I wanted to start by showing you this particular batch I have here. This is on my deck out front, and because it is out front, it gets forgotten quite a bit. I always forget I have these out here because this first year I put them out here like this, and so you can see how very long and leggy they are. You can prevent this from happening by actually using your pansies for more than just beauty. And so typically I'll keep them harvested back, and then they will bush out and get real thick, and the flowers tend to get a little bigger sometimes too, and I will show you those later. Right now Patrick is pressure washing our back deck, so it's real noisy back there. You probably can hear it now even. But anyway, so I will get started on the harvest of these, and then I will show you what else, you know, some of my other pansies before I harvest them, and then I'm going to talk about the benefits of pansies and what I use them for. So when I harvest these, since these are so long, I'm going to harvest them way back like this. Now I didn't bring my basket out with me, but I'm just going to go ahead and prune them way back. And that will encourage them to bush out and not be so leggy. Like this has got a pretty good thick stalk on it, which tells me I have pinched some flowers off of this one before. But we're going to take a whole lot off of this, which is always hard for me to do because I like how pretty they are. And I hate having to prune so much back, but I've let this go for too long and it really needs to be done. I did come out and pick some for a salad last night, but still really needed to harvest a lot of this back. So one thing that you may not realize is all aerial parts, that means all parts above the dirt of the pansy, are edible and useful. Typically I only use the flowers. A lot of people don't use the leaves at all. Some people don't realize the leaves, they know pansies are edible but don't think the leaves are, but they are. I've actually eaten them before. The flower as a whole and the leaves have a slight wintergreen taste to them, and the flowers just add a beautiful splash of color to your salads. So I highly recommend using that, and I'll insert a picture here of one of my midsummer salads that includes the pansies and the borage flowers. And I'm going to finish up with this. Really having to hack it back. There's not going to be much prettiness left when I'm done with these. But that's okay. It'll be in very short order. These things will quickly get a whole bunch of new flowers and bush out and not be so leggy looking. In fact, let me cut this one, pinch this one back too. But yes, you can eat the stems and the leaves. I've come across web pages that just say the leaves and the flowers, but some say just the flowers or flowers and stems. It's kind of funny, but really all aerial parts. Okay, I think I'll leave a few flowers on here, and then next time I come out and harvest, I'll take a bunch more off of there. Now this is pansy here that just came back from last year. And it's finally had a chance to really start getting flowers on it. I'll be harvesting from that one, and then there's actually a couple more, but the two best looking ones are this one and the other one. But you can see this one has been eaten quite a bit by slugs. Slugs love pansies, so it really is best to grow pansies in pots, keep them away from the slugs. But I did like to have a few in the ground. All right, here's some of the pansies I've got growing on this old wood stove that used to be in the house. Now it is a plant holder. And I have several pansies growing in pots. Doing quite well. Alright, so I'm back in my kitchen and I got all the pansies I'm going to harvest for today anyway. And I still have a lot, but I like to leave some just because they're so pretty. I don't like to harvest them all and have no flowers out there to look at. Plus, I think I'm going to pick some later to add in my salad. So I have a pretty good batch to start with for today. And these ones I'm going to be dehydrating. And the nice thing, even though it's kind of late in the day for me normally to start harvesting, because I had to wait for Mr. Rain to finish pressure washing the deck. The good thing about pansies is they dehydrate up very quickly. So now as far as their medicinal properties, I did bring my notes in because I have a hard time remembering everything, because I know they're beneficial to the skin and the hair. They're good for coughs, colds, and flus. They're also, let me look at my notes here. These are actually notes I wrote up a couple of years ago. They're high in vitamins A and C. They're an anti-allergen, anti-aging, soothes coughs, relieves skin problems such as acne, eczema, and more, and can be used to treat lung and urinary tract infections. Now that's just the short list. Now if you want to, I did go a little more in depth in another video, one of my live shows, and I will link to that right up here if you're interested. It is longer, and remember it's live, so you know there's a lot of interacting with my chatters there, and I give a lot more information on the benefits of pansies. Now, I initially started growing them just because I knew they were edible. There was something pretty I could grow, and I knew they were edible. But until a couple years ago, I never thought to look into the benefits, you know, that they might have for health and even medicinally, and was really surprised. I assumed they didn't have any, but I was so surprised when I found out how rich a source they are for all kinds of good stuff. And so I besides using these in salads, I've started stir frying with them, and that was kind of a nice little touch just to add a little more color. Pansies have a very mild flavor. They're not at all perfumey. They're slightly sweet, especially if you eat the whole flower. The petals alone don't have a lot of flavor, but the whole flower, when you eat the whole thing, you got to get this little center part, has a slight wintergreen flavor, but the leaves also do too. The flower just has a slightly better taste. And you'll notice, especially when you eat the leaves, they have that mucilaginous property to them, so you can see how they would easily soothe a sore throat or a cough. Another thing I really like to do, and I'll be making a video of this in the future and a blog, about how I use the pansy flowers to make a homemade vinegar that I use for my hair wash. I typically will try to sort through and get just the reds and the purples, the burgundies, and then I also combine it with my lavender flowers, and then I make a vinegar that I use specifically for washing my hair with. And again, watch for that video coming out later in my blog. And anyway, and the reason I use those for the hair is because not only does it just make a beautiful vinegar, as you can see right here, it also, you know, the benefits to the skin with the pansies, you know, are going to help with the scalp. And then lavender is known for helping to increase or speed up hair growth. And my hair used to be a lot longer than it is right now, and thicker, believe it or not. But I'm trying to get it back to the way it was. I went through some health issues and lost a lot of hair. But now that, you know, I'm back to where I should be, I'm trying to get my hair to be back there too. So that's just one of the things I use it for. I also dehydrate, as you can see. I'm dehydrating a bunch up that I will be putting into, I use in my homemade organic soaps and my own shampoo. And I do have videos on that, and I will post the links in the end cards and also in the description box, so you can find those and take a look at them. Anyway, so that's kind of a rough overview on pansies and what I do with them, and how good they are, and why you should consider growing them if you don't already. Because not only, I mean, look at all the beautiful colors. Not only does it add just a lot of beauty to your garden and draw in some beneficial things like the bees and the hummingbirds, but it just has so many other properties that you can use in, you know, add to your salads and your cooking and your whatever you want to make. You can make tinctures out of this too. In fact, I am going to, and I forgot to say this earlier, on my next cold and flu medicine I make, I'm going to be using pansies in it. Oh yes, and the other thing I really like to do this time of year is to make a tea, a pansy tea. And I'll insert a picture right here. And it just makes a real nice light flavored tea, which is especially nice for the summer. And when I do that, I actually use the fresh pansies for that, because I'm usually just doing like a cup at a time. But I'll use the dehydrated ones periodically in my teas throughout the year. So a lot of benefits, a lot of uses, and I hope you'll consider adding these to your garden. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.